Imagine you're an average guy who wants to make positive change to your body. You do all the right things, you go to the gym, you watch a whole lot of fitness content, you eat right, and genuinely you enjoy the process, I'd like to say. It even feels fun, but one of the most fun parts about it is the anticipation of progress, the anticipation of the moment when you step on the scales and when you discover that all your work wasn't for nothing. But when you look in the mirror or when you step on the scales, the only thing that you see is disappointment as usual. You seem like doing everything right, but you just never succeed on your fitness goals. You try to say to yourself, like, it is not that stable, it is a little bit random. The results on the scales and in the mirror sometimes don't reflect the actual ones, but actually on the inside you just want your goals to finally be fulfilled. Sometimes you may even doubt the whole thing and thinking that it is just not worth it, but I'm gonna tell you it freaking does. You have all those amazing benefits from being in the shape that you actually want to be. Especially if you go into the entrepreneurship in the content creator path, that increased shape of yours is gonna be an amazing bonus that would be great. Also, when it comes to girls, they're gonna be much more attracted to you, and don't even cope that you don't want that. That is an amazing benefit to your life, so don't even try to tell me that you don't need it. Also, the health benefits of being in a good shape are also amazing, because now the vast majority of problems with health in the most developed countries in the world, they actually come from, number one, stress, and number two is bad physical shape and horrible lifestyle. So in this video I'm gonna give you 5 no-mainstream pieces of advice that will certainly help you fulfill your fitness goals. So let's dive right into it. So the tip number 1 would be to take highly detailed pictures of your current physique. So the main thing that you can do in the beginning of your journey is to take a good, high-quality before pictures from all the possible angles and in the perfect scenario, in a high quality with great light and all those other attributes that make the photos amazing. But obviously apply no filters and never Photoshop those. It would always be amazing to look back at your progress and to see those before pics and to see how much you have developed in the course of months or maybe years. So that would be great, and also that would be a great indicator of how you actually looked before the journey started. So it could improve the prudency of tracking your progress. Number 2 would be to watch more fitness content. This one is gonna be a very controversial one, but I can explain. When you watch more fitness content, you're simply more in the zone of doing all those body transformation habits. I had a friend who needed advice on how to deal with his bad physical shape and how to fix all those stuff, and the first thing I actually advised him would not be a diet plan or something like this or something that he should train. It was simply to watch more videos on clean eating and on exercising. So he would be more immersed in the culture of doing this stuff. This is important not only for information but also for the motivational part of it. If you don't really have friends who can support you on your journey, and to be honest, you don't even need the ones who can support you on your journey because everyone can say the words of support, but what you do actually need is people who are succeeding on their fitness journey so they have better and quicker progress than you do, and so it would be motivating for you to do the same thing as he does and to push through all your boundaries, through everything, simply not to be the one who loses. And if you don't have those friends in real life, and unfortunately the chances are that you actually don't, Your surroundings could be the YouTubers and influencers who succeed on their journey and who motivate you to take action and to actually do something with your life. So the tip number 3 would be to find a good fitness community. So preferably it should not be a forum where people simply chat about it. It feels productive, but actually it is not. I'll explain. So there are people who struggle and there are people who achieve. Those are strugglers and winners. So if you surround yourself with strugglers, you're gonna become a struggler yourself. You're gonna have the same exact problems as people around you do, and there will be no moving forward. You think that it is much more logical to share the struggles and to help each other solve them, but unfortunately it sounds very rude and uncomfortable, but it is the closest to the truth as it can be. That you simply will not succeed in these conditions. You have to surround yourself with winners. And so preferably for you is to find a community where people share on the vast majority, who share only their wins and who share their progress to make you jealous, to make you even more motivated to act. Tip number 4, be truthful to yourself and never cope about anything related to fitness. This one could be very weird for you and for your understanding, but I'll explain. If you're watching typical content on fitness, on clean eating and stuff like that, you're probably a huge cooper. You probably tell yourself all those stupid things about how progress in a mirror or on the scales does not matter, how this thing should be gradual if you're training naturally. All that stuff, and simply not seeing that the number on the scale is not moving and you have to do something about this. If you don't see the progress long term, like you don't see a single gram of muscle gain in a month, then you should change your tactics to stop being a coper who thinks that it's just gonna take a little bit of time. No, it's not. If you keep the same losing tactic, you'll not gain whatsoever. Also, if you don't feel the burn from the gym, that definitely sucks because you're just not training enough. People have convinced you that you should train less, that you should not overtrain and all this stuff, but if you get out of the gym and your muscles simply do not burn and you no longer have all those moments when you pretty much cannot wake up after training, that means you're not training hard enough and that you should stop coping about simply not overtraining, doing everything in moderation. So, how can you even progress if you simply lie to yourself about your progress? This is just beyond my understanding. And finally, tip number 1, just know that doing body transformation activities is fun and easy. If it is not fun or it is unnecessary difficult, that means you're simply doing something wrong. This is the most controversial one out there, but I'll explain once again. So actually doing all those habits is fun. If you lift heavy weights and you optimize your routine, it is actually gonna feel pleasurable. And when it comes to clean eating, you can cook amazing food and it would taste as well as junk food that you ate before. So why, if those activities are fun, why can't you just feel happy? Why all those habits feel like a burden? Well, there is an answer to that. When you're just about to go through the gym or when you just have to eat something and you have to choose between junk food and its healthy alternative, you're faced only with the fact that it is hard. That is the only thing that is in your head at the moment. And a man who exercises happily and who eats clean and never cheats on his diet, he already in those moments he sees the end results of his effort and of his hard work. So he immerses himself in a culture where actually doing all those habits is prevalent and where he gets congratulated for that, and when he genuinely feels like an accomplished person. ahead of himself, he sees the best version of himself. And what is the difference between a failure and a winner is simply that a failure sees a current version of himself and his current desires only. Also, a failing person does not see their whole reason why he's doing it. He's pretty much okay with being out of shape, and culturally, he was not conditioned into fitness but into mediocrity. So if you change all of that, you'll finally achieve your fitness goals, and the journey to achieving those would be fun. So these tips will certainly be a solution to all your fitness-related problems. From useless tactics, you switch to actions. You learn directly how to succeed. That's gonna be it for today. See you in the next videos. Bye, see you later.